We are studying forms of business organization, business studies, class 11. So in our previous video, we have studied about what is sole proprietorship and who runs the sole proprietorship. So we studied here that there's a single person who owns, manages and controls and is recipient of all profits and bears all risks of the business. So sole means single, so he is a sole proprietor. We also looked into what are the features of our form of business, that is sole proprietorship, like how it is formed, how is it, what are the terms for the closure of the business, what is the liability of the sole proprietor, how does he bears risk, and what is his share in the profit, what is the part of his control. There's no separate entity and there's a lack of business continuity in our sole proprietorship. We also looked into the merits and demerits of our sole proprietorship. So if you have missed this video, attaching the link in the description box, please go through it before we start with our today's video. So today we will be studying about next form of a business, that is joint Hindu family business. So in India, it's very common to find joint Hindu family businesses. So in India, we very much believe in joint families, and in joint family, like we have a family business where it is conducted and taken over by every generation of grandfathers, then fathers take over, then their son take over. So this is how the business is transformed from one generation to another, and this is known as joint Hindu family business. So let's read out what's written here. Joint Hindu family business is a specific form of business organization which is formed only in India. So this type of business organization is very unique and it's particularly found only in India. It's one of the oldest forms of business organization. So as we know, only our country believes in joint families, believes in family businesses, and it's one of the very oldest business organization which is very found in our country, India. So it refers to the form of organization where it is owned and carried on by the members of Hindu Undivided family. So HUF, which means Hindu Undivided family. This business is carried on and owned by the members of HUF. It is governed by Hindu law. Okay. So the business is controlled by the head of the family, who is the eldest member, called as Karta. So one eldest member is there who is taking all these responsibilities, and there are other members who joins him in this business. But the power and authority, if you have observed, is mainly with that eldest person, and that eldest member of the family who is head and who is controlling this business is known as Karta. This is very important. The eldest member who is controlling the business mainly is known as Karta. So next we'll be looking into the features of HUF. So the formation is like this is the very oldest form of business organization, and it is formed and transformed from generation to generation, and it is managed and controlled under Hindu law, but the business is taken over by all the generations of the family, and the main head of the family usually controls the business, and he is known as Karta. So this is about formation. Next we have liability. So what is the liability of all the members here? So whoever is into the business, their liability is limited, but the liability of the Karta, the liability of the eldest member of the family, the liability of the Karta is unlimited. The liability of the Karta is unlimited, whereas the liability of all the other members of the business, all other members of the family, is limited. So control. We have just looked into the control, the authority, the power to take the decisions is usually lies in the hands of our Karta. Continuity. So one major drawback which we found in our sole proprietorship is somewhere an advantage for HUF. So even if Karta dies, there is the next eldest member of the family who takes the role of Karta. So the business is continued. There is no stop. The business does not discontinue or does not stop due to the death or any such matters where the business does not stop, it keeps on continuing. So this business continues from one generation to another. If the main head of the family dies, the next eldest person takes the role of karta and continues the business. So minor members, so like if you have observed in most of the Hindu undivided families, so the children are like maybe when they attain a certain age, they start sitting into their shops, or they start getting that used to with the business. So they even the minor members are involved in the business, which we can see in Hindu undivided families. So next, what are our merits of Hindu undivided family? So merits are nothing but advantages. So effective control. Mainly, there's only one control, so only one head who will think into the all. Yes, surely there what like we can take the suggestions of all the family members, but usually the decision, the authority lies in the hands of the karta. Next, continued business existence. The business does not stop or discontinue on the death of any karta, but yes, the business is continued from generation to generation. So this is one of the advantage of our Hindu undivided family form of business. Next is limited liability of members. So as we just studied that the liability of all the members is limited. Next, increased liability and corporation. So if you have observed, since it's a family business, there will be corporation at all times. If it is a family business, at any point of time, if you require any help from any of them, they are ready to do it for you. So this is what a family business looks like. So there's a increased liability and corporation. Increased liability in the sense, so if the liability is extended, some other person is ready to take up that liability. So increased liability, and we can expect even the corporation anytime. Next, what are our demerits? So there are some disadvantages also with our Hindu undivided family form of organization, business organization. So what are those? That is limited resources. So limited resources in the sense that usually all the powers are in the hands of our karta, right? When karta is taking all the decisions, if the decision goes wrong, then the business has to suffer. So it usually limited to only karta. It is not the authority is not with all the members. Unlimited liability of karta. So we just studied that the liability of members is limited and the karta's liability is unlimited. If the business is suffering any losses, he has to even keep up his personal property there. So the liability of karta, the eldest member of the family who is controlling the business, unlimited liability. So dominance of karta. Usually if you have observed, so one who is the eldest has a dominance power, has a decision making authority, has authority over all other members. So he dominates, he takes the decision. So somewhere this can be a disadvantage too sometimes. So dominance of karta. Limited managerial skills. So again, all the decisions are taken by the karta alone, and he only manages and takes up the business, and all other members who are involved, yes, they take up the various other activities of business, but where the situation that we have to act quickly or we have to take the decisions right away, it's only lies in the hands of karta. So limited managerial skills. So this is it for joint Hindu family business. So we studied like how this business organization is formed, and it's only found in India. What are its features and what are its merits and demerits? So this is a very oldest form of business organization which is only found in India. So yes, this is it for today's video. In our next video, we will come up with the next form of business organization. Until then, if you have missed subscribing our channel, please subscribe and share our channel with your friends. If you have any queries, please put up into our comment section and we will be happy to help you out. See you in the next video. Until then, happy learning.